All right. I am recording. Okay. So let me let some more people in. Okay. All right, guys. So my name is Wynn Clark Nelson, like I said, and I always do what I call a Winners Wednesday because our team name is Team Winners. Because I mean, why not play off of my name? It's great. And so Brittany asked if I would be willing to just train the whole team for this week's Wednesday Winners. So I'm super stoked to be able to do that. So I talk kind of fast. I'm going to warn you, but I'm going to have notes for everybody. So I'm going to be posting the replay. And with that replay, I'm also going to post notes for you guys. So don't feel like you have to write every single little thing down because I'm going to be giving you guys some scripts today, some hooks, and all kinds of ideas that you guys are going to be able to take straight into your business right away. So just so you know, you're going to have notes. And that way you'll be able to look back at those notes and have all the scripts and all the hooks and all the things. Okay. All right. So I guess I'll introduce myself real quick a little bit. I've been a director with Farmasi pretty consistently. I'm super excited to say we've been hitting director every month for at least 4 or 5 months. So I'm super happy about that. I've been with Farmasi a little over a year. I joined Brittany in February. I was already wanting to find skincare and collagen because I'm in my 40s and I'm started getting worried about skincare. And it was perfect timing that I started talking to Brittany about this. And I was like, yeah, I want my stuff for half off. And I was like, it'll be cool if I make a little bit of extra money, but I wasn't sure if I would or not. I didn't know what to expect. And I just decided to go for it. And I'm so happy that I did. I'm a high school science and math teacher, and I recently had to resign from my position in November or beginning of December. And being able to have Farmasi has helped me with not stressing out because I have that extra money coming in and it's helping me get by. I'm substitute teaching right now and then doing Farmasi and living my life. So without further ado, we're going to get started. So today is all about like going from selling to storytelling and how you can turn like your daily routines into sales. So kind of some main objectives of this call is understand why using routines is going to not only help you to be more consistent, but be able to convert more people into shoppers and joiners. We're going to learn how you can turn common customer problems into a way you can provide a solution. We're going to talk about focusing in on 3 of your daily routines and how you can turn those into content. I'm going to teach you guys what I call my 4-part story formula that is going to like spark curiosity and engagement in your watchers, how to turn likes, comments, and shares into conversations, how to utilize spreading how many people are seeing your content by encouraging tagging, highlighting posts, getting people to share your posts, all of those things. And then I'm going to talk about a daily IPA system to just keep the momentum going. Okay. All right. So I'm excited to be with you guys today because this is something I talk to my team quite a bit, quite a lot. But I think one of the biggest mindset shifts that happened in my business is how can I work easier, not harder? And as somebody who works, I think that's important to be able to figure out. I think that one mistake that a lot of people make when they first start with Farmasi is they think that they constantly need to promote every product and every sale. And I just want to remind you guys that the truth is people aren't buying the products, they're buying you and they're supporting you. So they don't always care about a sale and they don't care about every one of the 300 products that we have available, right? So we're going to like narrow it down and focus in on what are the products that you're using and how does that fit your lifestyle and your routine, and how can you attract people through that. So I'm going to focus a lot on like your routine and what you're already using. So first I want you guys to think though about like, how do you shop? You don't always wake up thinking like, I think I'm going to go buy some spirulina today. Like nobody wakes up thinking that. Instead, what might go through somebody's mind is, gosh, I really need more energy, or wow, my skin isn't glowing like it used to. I'd really like to lose some weight. I'd really like to feel healthier, right? I really need to sleep better. I'm losing sleep. So the reason I bring this up is that we need to be able to solve people's problems that they're having with our solutions through our products. And we're going to do that by building a routine of the products that we're using. So you guys already know all the products that we have solve a lot of problems for people, whether it's energy, weight management, better skin, hair, nails, gut health, right? Better sleep, reducing cravings, all the things. So we're going to turn this into 3 daily routines: a morning, a midday, and a night routine. And you don't necessarily have to do all 3 every day, but I think kind of having a system has helped me in knowing like I have kind of 3 main routines that I like to share about. So let's talk about some examples of morning routines that you have that you could start sharing. So first off, something that I do is I am always recording and snapping pictures when I'm using my products. I might be talking about the products, I might not. It might just be a picture of me drinking my morning shake or whatever. But I'm always recording content from my daily routines of using the products. I might not make the content right then and there, but when I'm ready to make content, I have a ton of video and photos available for me to pull together content. So let's talk about some ideas for morning routines. And you guys know what your routines are, but maybe you're not really thinking about it in that way. Like your morning glow drink, right? That's a morning routine that you could be sharing about. Your weekly sheet mask, or putting on your your peptide lip balm, doing your morning skincare, morning makeup, right? So these are examples of morning routines that you could start sharing more about and being more consistent about. But it's important that you're not just sharing it, but you are, let me let somebody in, but you do it with intention. So when we share our routines, it's important that you have what's called a hook that is going to grasp somebody's attention and hopefully make them stop scrolling. So for example, a hook is like your first sentence, right? Something that captures somebody's attention. So here's some examples for you guys. And like I said, all of these are going to be in the notes. You're going to have a copy of all of this. My 3-minute glow routine before I even leave the house. So that's kind of a hook because it makes somebody get curious. What's a glow routine? And, why does she do that? Right? Or another example, this is how I start my day when I want my skin to behave. So again, like you're kind of capturing somebody's attention and curiosity. That's what a hook is. It could be like 3 products for fast makeup because who has time for anything else, right? And then they're like, oh, I wonder what she's using because yeah, I don't have much time. I want to get out the door faster. And then here's some examples of midday energy routines. And I'm going to talk later more about actually building this up. This is just kind of the beginning, the hooks, right? Getting people curious about what you're doing. But some midday routines that you guys might be doing, your meal replacement shakes, your creatine, your protein coffee to keep you going through the afternoon, energy support supplements, your L-carnitine, anything that you're doing and using kind of midday would be great. So some example hooks, instead of crashing at 3 p.m., this is what I take. Or this is my favorite afternoon pick-me-up. Or what I drink before the gym. This shake tastes like dessert, but keeps me full, right? So first, starting with a hook when you are posting about your routine, and then we're going to talk about the next chunk of it. Examples of nighttime routines. Nighttime is all about like self-care and relaxation, right? So we want to kind of target that problem that people have. So it could be your skincare routine, your all-night beauty mask. You might focus on one product. You might focus on multiple. And after gym treats, I personally love mixing the Beauty Booster collagen into yogurt. So I love sharing about that. It could be focusing in on your nighttime serum. But again, we want to start with a hook that's going to capture someone's attention. So it could just be like my 5-minute night routine. Because I think a lot of people, I don't have any slides. I just have notes I'm going to be sharing to you guys. I'll post like a replay, and then I have slides that are the notes I'm going to share. So what I do 5 minutes before bed, I think a lot of people feel like they don't have time for skincare. And so we want to make sure they know it only takes a couple of minutes, right? And so now that you have like, or here, we're going to talk about the 4-part formula for what I call a story that is going to be relatable, that people are going to want to watch. I call it like storytelling. A lot of people have trained about this, but I personally make mine revolve around 4 different steps. So first is the hook, right? Which we already talked about. So again, another example, I used to crash every afternoon around 3, right? That's the hook. Cause then people are like, yeah, I do that too, right? It gets people curious and stop scrolling. Then step 2 is to actually share what you're using. But that doesn't mean share a whole huge paragraph, because if you give too much information, people are probably not going to read it. So like 1 or 2 sentences. Now I make this protein shake with almond milk. Step 3, give a quick benefit of it. What it does for you, it keeps me full for hours and it stops my sugar cravings, right? Step 4 is to have like a call to action or some sort of conversation starter, like comment shake if you want my recipe. Or it could be like, what's your favorite shake flavor, right? A lot of different ways that you could like ask a question to get people to engage with it. So 4 parts, right? Having a routine, and then a hook, what you're actually doing for the problem, what the benefit is, and then some sort of call to action or conversation starter. Okay. So here's like some, another example besides, I just did an example for like a shake. So maybe a skincare example. So hook, my skin has been so dry this winter. 2, the routine. This mask has been my nightly secret weapon. 3, the benefit. I wake up and my skin feels so hydrated. And maybe you have like a before and after picture of before you put it on at night and in the morning when you woke up, right? And then 4th step, your conversation. Comment glow if you want my routine. So I think for me, it's when I know a system, it's easier for me to build posts than build routine if I feel like I have like a system that I'm following. Otherwise, I kind of squirrel and I'm all over the place, and it looks that way, right? But it's important that you're not only posting. We have to be turning this into conversations with people, and I think that this is probably the most important part of all. Your content doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be every single day, 6 times a day, but it needs to be consistent and it needs to drive conversations. So make sure that you're actually engaging with anybody that engages in your content. So if they like it, if they comment on it, if they share your post, if they react to a story, this means they're paying attention to you, and it's important that you take the next step and then build upon that conversation. And keep a list of who's engaging. I can't stress this enough. You have to have a running list of who's engaging on what, because if they're not ready to shop right then, if we have a sale that pops up, you're going to want to know who to reach out to personally. But if you're not building a list, it's going to be easy to forget who was engaging, right? So build a list. I promise it will pay off in the long run. So, but then we're going to take it into messages. All right. So people you're going to message are the people I just said. They liked it, they commented, or they asked a question. They're watching your stories regularly, right? We want to be reaching out to these people, but it's also important that you're not spammy and turning people off. So it needs to be short and sweet and simple. A lot of times I'll just start my first message might just be, hey, I wanted to thank you for engaging in my content. That helps me boost my algorithm. I just want you to know I'm here for you when you're ready to try something. So sometimes I might not really get straight to the point, but a lot of times that'll be just my first message. And I write down when I message them, right? That way the next time I connect with them, I've already kind of opened the door. If they're interested, they'll tell me, but I don't always go straight for the sale then and there, because I think it can turn people off. I just let them know I appreciate them and that I'm here for them when they're ready to try something, right? But then if they keep engaging, I'm going to definitely get to the point and be more direct. So here's some examples of more direct messages. If let's say someone liked the post, I might message something and say, hey, and then their name. I always say their name. I saw that you liked my post about the shake earlier, and I'm just kind of wondering, are you using any kind of protein or meal replacement? So see how that wasn't like, thank you for checking out my shake post. It's only $30 and you can grab it right now. Here's my link. There's a big difference between those two messages, right? And you're going to turn people off if you automatically send them your link, without them saying, yes, I want to check it out. So I always end with a question when I'm messaging people. Here's another example. If someone commented, hey, thanks for commenting on my post earlier. Are you looking for more energy support or maybe just something healthier to replace a meal? So again, I'm ending with a question. I'm not saying, do you want to check out my link? Or here's my link. I'm not saying, these are all the benefits. These are all, it's got all these ingredients, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sending a whole paragraph. That's going to turn people off, right? Here's another example. Hey, I saw you shared my post. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Have you tried any of those products? What are you loving? Because then if they're sharing my post, they need to join my team. So that's actually the conversation that I'm working into is, let's join my team, right? If someone is watching and reacting to my stories, hey, I saw you were watching my stories about my glow routine. Are you interested in skincare or more of wellness? And just kind of gauging where they're at. And from there, let the conversation flow. I always like to lead a conversation with questions. I give a little bit of information, but not too much. And then I ask another question. I give a little bit more information, but not too much. And then ask another question, because you want people to feel like it's a back and forth conversation and not like you're talking them into buying something, because that's going to turn a lot of people off. And so the next thing I think is important to think about is encouraging people to share your posts, tag their friends, and use the highlight feature. This is a great way to reach more people. Personally, I always post most everything I post publicly so people can share it. So here's some call to action examples of something you could add to a post that you make to get people to encourage this type of behavior from the people that are following you. Tag a friend who would love this routine, right? Hit the share button and send this to your bestie. Know someone else who needs this glow routine? Tag them below. Or share this to a friend who is trying to improve their skincare. So don't forget the power of allowing people to spread your business for you. I think it's very powerful. Also, don't forget that little highlight feature that Facebook has. You know, somebody in the comments, when they type the little symbol and the highlight pops up, if they type that into the comments of your post, it notifies their friends of that post, and their friends can then come see what they're highlighting. So it's a great way to, again, keep spreading and meeting new people and spreading who's seeing your content. So for example, how do I do this? You can say, this is like your call to action, like at the end of your post, right? After your hook and your benefit and everything. You could say comment below and then hit the highlight button so your friends can see this routine too. It's super short and easy, and a lot of people want to support you in your business. Even if they can't shop right now, a lot of people are actually going to be willing to do things like that, especially if you kind of start building it into as a routine. And I want to also remind you guys that consistency beats perfection every single time. I am usually a hot mess express in videos, in lives, in everything. So please never feel like you need to have everything perfect and your makeup perfect and like all the things, because first off, that's not relatable. And just be you. People are going to be attracted to you and who you are. You don't have to have lighting perfect, you know, I used to compare myself a lot to others who do have really beautiful content, and that's not always me. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not, but I'm not going to not post because I'm worried that it's not beautiful enough. I'm going to keep doing the things. And over time, it'll start to refine itself, especially I think with the more practice that you have. People want to see your coffee, your morning routine, your workout routine, your skincare routine, because all of the things that you're loving, people want, but they want to see it in a relatable way. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of tough love here for a second. I don't know about you guys, but I love Brittany's Tough Love Thursday posts. So I got a little bit of tough love for you guys. Okay. We have to remember that your posts are building trust. And if you're only sharing the company graphics of every sale and every new thing that comes out, but you don't focus on your own routine, you are not building trust. You're kind of being spammy. I try really hard to never just post a company graphic. Are they beautiful? Yeah. But that's better for like, that's better at the end of my reel that showed me using the products, right? And it doesn't have that stop there scroll factor. And it's going to make it look like your page is more like an advertisement that nobody wants to care about. So use company graphics sparingly. I think having at least if you, let's say you want to show the sale, at least throw your picture on top of that company graphic, or at least post it with your video of you using the products or your picture with you showing your favorites. And I don't share every sale. I don't. I only share, and when we do have a sale, I only share what I actually am using. And because I have a consistent routine of recording and taking pictures when I'm using the products for my daily routines where I'm using the products, I always have a ton of content that I can pull from. And if something goes on sale that I love, that's what I'm sharing about. I'm not sharing that we have 50 things on sale right now. I'm only sharing what I'm using. So if you're not trying the products and recording content of you using them, if you're not showing your before and afters, why would somebody care to try it? And again, I do a lot of what I call batch recording, where I'll take like an hour a week of me just recording a whole bunch of stuff all at once. My skincare, my makeup, my night routine, making shakes, making my glow drink. And then I have all that ready for me to build content with for the whole week. So it's not necessarily that I'm recording every time I'm using products, but I take time at least once a week to do it all at once, because for me, that works better for me. But I think figuring out what your routine is and how you can be consistent is important. I also encourage you guys to take a hard look at your content. Like, go to your page and scroll it. Scroll it as if you're somebody else looking at your page, and think to yourself, is this engaging? Is this teaching people anything? Does this look like one big advertisement? I think it's important to try to look at your profile periodically. And sometimes I'll delete things off. I'm like, wow, this is a little too much or whatever. So look back at your page and try to see it through somebody else's eyes. And think to yourself, would this stop my scroll? Would this make me want to shop? Right? And don't forget, also post about the rest of your life, not only about the products. So like, I post pictures of my dogs. I got like over 1,000 views because I had a little video of snow. It was snowing. And, like, show your personal life too. Talk about funny things that happened in your day. Record a quick video. Who cares if you look perfect? Record a quick video and tell that funny story. Post pictures of your family, what you had for dinner. I can't believe this. One of my best, as far as views, one of the best things that gets me the most views is I'll be recording my feet walking. I don't know why people like watching that. But I think it's important to look at what is getting a lot of views and do more of that, right? Also, show your personality. And I was going to say something else in my mind. I went off on a tangent. But show who you are, and most importantly, take it into getting into people's inboxes in a non-spammy way. Because if you're not getting into their inboxes, are you really growing? I mean, honestly, are you? Probably not. If all you're doing is making content, but you're not getting in their inbox, probably not. And that's a hard truth. And I know it's hard and it's scary, but the more practice you have, the easier it gets. And again, you guys are going to have these scripts. I'm going to post these notes later tonight after I go to the gym and all that. So it's going to be a couple hours, but get into people's inboxes. So I have a little challenge for you guys. I want you to try this routine strategy of, and I say routine on multiple levels, build your routine of how you're producing content, but use your daily routines to make your content, right? It really shouldn't take that much out of your day if you take quick recordings and snap quick pictures while you're using the products. You might not have the time to sit down then and there and make the content, but you have that content or those videos and everything when you're ready to actually produce the content. So build it into a habit, and you'll always have a wealth of things to choose from when your creative juices are flowing. So here's a little challenge. Post at least 3 of your routines this week where you're using our products, and don't be afraid to keep sharing about the same things, because people have to see things at least 7 times usually before they're ready to shop. Okay. When people see how these products fit into your daily life, they're going to wonder if it could fit into theirs too. So put on your lip and also don't always talk all about the products. When you build a post, it doesn't have to be you talking about the products. It could be you kind of weaving it in to content that you're making. For example, put on your lip gloss before you talk about your new gossip that you have to share about your favorite celebrities, right? You record a quick video and at the beginning you put on your lip gloss. Okay, you don't have to talk about it, but it's going to make people curious if you consistently are using it. Go live and do your skincare. Don't talk about the skincare. Just use the skincare and talk about your crazy life. I do this all the time in my stories, doing my makeup or skincare. So build it into your life. Okay. And daily IPAs. And this is going to be kind of the last thing. Every day you want to have a routine of what you're going to do for your business, your non-negotiables. So my minimum dailies are at least one lifestyle or routine post a day, starting 5 conversations. And it may or may not be about the business. It might just be like, happy birthday. What was your favorite memory? I got that from Brittany. I love doing that. It starts conversations. And when I get into people's inbox, they're going to start seeing more of my posts. So it doesn't always have to be about the business. Okay. Follow up with 3 people and recommend one product or bundle. So daily IPAs, 1 lifestyle post, start 5 conversations personally, follow up with 3 people, and recommend 1 product or bundle. And if you start doing these things, I think you'll start seeing some traction happening in your business. All right, guys, that's what I got. I know I talk fast and a lot, but I'm going to share these notes to you guys. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want to share? Feel free to unmute. You're welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to pop off. I'm going to post this recording tonight before I go to bed, and I'll post the notes along with it. So you have those too. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining in. Have a good night.